since you knew your power, you made me cry. Tsaka, 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 tsaka. And now every time our love goes sour, you won't sympathize. Tsaka, 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 tsaka. You see these tears falling down to my ears. I swear you like when I'm in pain, yeah. I try to tell you all my fears. You still don't care, well that's okay. Hey, well I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care. Baby, oh I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care. Baby, la la, ah. Boy, maybe if you cared enough, I wouldn't have to care so much. What happened to our trust? Now you've just given up. You used to be so in love. Now you don't care no more. Ooh, 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 ooh. I still care, baby. Oh, I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care. La 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 la, care, baby. I still care. I still care. La la. That part where she's like, ever since you knew your power, you make me cry. Like, it's, I mean, this song, right? Beyonce writes it, or sings it, whatever, right? She sings it, writes it, whatever, but this is not Beyonce Nje writing a song. This is a general human issue. It's a human problem. That's why musicians are able to make music about this issue, where it is that human beings are literally using as a strategy. Withholding love from someone that is in love with you, or holding on to you, or that loves you, or that cares about you. Withholding from them for no other reason but to just break them. And then they feel powerful in the midst of it. It's tyranny, it's animalistic, it's barbaric, it's inhumane. It ought to be filed down. It ought cause an individual to take stock. It ought cause people to desire to change, that they might see differently how to treat other people. It is something that people must work on. You can't pride yourself in somebody groveling at your feet. And yet I have got a whole bunch of people who, thanks to my loneliness, my isolation, my solitude, and my sorrow, thoroughly expect me to grovel at their feet because they feel empowered above me. They're classist and they're nihilistic. They think no one is coming for me, or they think that I have got a pie in the sky idea as to what's going on here tomorrow, right? And so therefore, having much in the climate of all of my lack, they anticipate that they've got power above me. And it therefore then necessarily becomes, of course, absolutely true that absolute power corrupts absolutely. They think they have power over me. And so now they are so corrupt that they are withholding affection from me, using reverse psychology to get me to grovel. And they only can do that, or they can only desire to do that, precisely because it works. Because listen to Beyonce. Listen to the song. It is because of the fact that this is something that actually does happen. It does happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? People actually prosper to make others crawl like babies after them. Hence music, so much music. Resonating the sentiment can be written about it. Music tends to be mankind's way of expressing how they feel about life's issues. So it's not just fiction, this song. It's the reality of many people. Ever since you knew your power, you made me cry. Taka 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 ta. And now every time our love goes sour, you won't sympathize. Taka 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 ta. You see these tears falling down to my ears. Taka ta. I swear you like when I'm in pain. Yeah. I try to tell you all my fears. You still don't care. Well, that's okay. Well, I care. Whoa. That's exactly what people are doing to me. And this is a strategy that the devil has been using time and time again, so it works. But we are people of a different status. We're set apart. We are in this world, although not of it. So we don't respond to the stimuli that tends to cause other people to flinch and barge. Accordingly, we gaze upon all of these fiery darts of the enemy and we are like, whoa, you're arrogant. No, I'm not barging. I am absolutely not barging. So in returning back to Sam Smith's song, before I go and I use the bathroom, and then do one encore. But every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, in other words, you know your power. You make me cry. There was a time I used to grovel, but not anymore. So Sam Smith's song is the graduated person. It is the graduated victim from Beyonce's state to Sam Smith's state. That is the graduation. That is the promotion. That is the upgrade, the leveling up. When you go from ever since you knew your power, you made me cry, to and every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. But every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbye. Basically, you cause people to get to a point where they are like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna take this trash lying down. You callous people. But you see, when people get calloused outside of Christ, they just become cold and heartless and unseemly and unsavory. But in Christ, we just door slam move on, where it is that we can love in Christ, like it is written in 1 Corinthians 13. We find an environment where we can be godly with fellowship, instead of one that is just toxic. You just walk out. You don't change character and become a mean-spirited baboon. You just leave. Because it's soul-saving. You leave because it's soul-saving to do that. So all the best with all of y'all's reverse psychology. The quicker these tears dry, and every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbye. I'm way too good at goodbyes. I'm way too good at bye-bye. No way that you'll see me cry. I'm way too good at goodbyes. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Cause every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the less I love you. And baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbye. Goodbyes. I'm gonna sing the song one last time, go use the loo, and then continue with this conversation. You must think that I'm stupid. You must think that I'm a fool. You must think that I'm new to this, but I have seen this all before. I'm never gonna let you close to me, even though you mean the most to me. 'Cause every time I open up it hurts. So I'm never gonna get too close to you, even when I mean the most to you, in case you go and leave me in the dirt. But every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbye. I'm way too good at goodbyes. I know you're thinking I'm heartless. I know you're thinking I'm cold. I'm just protecting my innocence. I'm just protecting my soul. I'm never gonna let you close to me, even though you mean the most to me. 'Cause every time I open up, it hurts. So I'm never gonna get too close to you, even when I mean the most to you, in case you go and leave me in the dirt. But every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbyes. I'm way too good at goodbyes. No way that you'll see me cry. I'm way too good at goodbyes. No. No, 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 no. 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 Oh. 'Cause every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbyes. Let me go pee. I'll be back. It's 32 minutes past 11. So there's like already fireworks crackling up outside. It's been like this for me for 10 years. Spending New Year's Day Eve like this, alone, fighting for my soul, my life, and my right to exist, and making war with the kingdom of darkness. Every year, like clockwork. And every year, I'm either in front of the recorder, speaking, doing life as normal, like it's not even New Year's Eve or whatever. Or I record when all those firecrackers go out on some, yeah, look, another year has come and gone, ignoring the living daylights out of my soul. So today, I guess we're going to break the year together with me recording at this time of night. Because these days I am recording Busiku Khagana. This has been my life. Christmas has been like this as well for 10 years. People who did this to me, who today are happy, whatnot, with their family members, their friends, their children. I mean, that'll always be a sore point for me, right? Yeah, they expect me to accommodate them. Kiloba second wifey, kiloba engi. On some Karabo, me, I can give you a New Year's Eve with some children being like, Happy New Year's, mommy, whatnot. I can make you a mom. I know you can. You've got plumbing. It works. But I don't want your kids. Like, it's like proper. A whole bunch of irresponsible souls. When I was using the bathroom, Another song came to me. Yeah, Selena Gomez. The one that is speculated that she's busy singing about Justin Bieber or whatever. Yet more sentiment coming from this guy. So let's just open it and sing it. Read you the lyrics to help you understand what God is telling me is rather going to be the eventuality, as opposed to what is rather hoped by those who are wicked and doing a strange and ominous thing. The name of the song, yeah, Selena Gomez, that God brought back, brought up to help you understand just what God is saying. Like, y'all, he's not necessarily restricted to communicating gospel music, so you can understand the sentiment of what God is saying. When I was using the bathroom, Selena Gomez, Lose You to Love Me. So I figured, let me just sing it. I was done with Sam Smith, but he brought this song up and another one as well that I'm going to sing now. But first, let's start with this one, Selena Gomez, so you can understand what God is saying. He's not restricted to all this, to only, gospel music, to try and put his point across, because sometimes, it doesn't quite hit the nail with gospel music, because barely ever do they sing about life issues at that kind of height, that kind of level, with that kind of crazy in gospel music. So the sentiment of stuff going on in people in the world brings forth the sentiment, truly, and you will literally get goosebumps to hear these lyrics, because they are resonating exactly what God is doing and what it is that I'm trying to achieve. So let us start. You promised the world and I fell for it. I put you first and you adored it. Set fires to my forest and you let it burn. Sang off key in my chorus, 'cause it wasn't yours. I saw the signs and I ignored it. Rose-colored glasses all distorted. Set fire to my purpose and I let it burn. You got off on the hurting when it wasn't yours. Yeah, we'd always go into it blindly. I needed to lose you to love me, to find me. This dancing is killing me softly. I needed to hate you to love me, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. I needed to lose you to love me, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. I needed to lose you to love me. I give my all and they all know it. Then you tore me down and now it's showing. In 2 months you replaced us like it was easy. Made it think I deserved it. In the thick of healing, yeah. We'd always go into it blindly. I needed to lose you to find me. This dancing was killing me softly. I needed to hate you to love me, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. I needed to lose you to love me, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. I needed to lose you to love me, yeah. You promised the world and I fell for it. I put you first and you adored it. Set fires to my forest and you let it burn. Sang off key in my chorus. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. I needed to hate you to love me, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. I needed to lose you to love me. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. To love, yeah. And now the chapter is closed and done. To love ya, to love ya, to love ya. And now it's goodbye for us. I forgot how to sing this. And now it's goodbye for us. The song in Selena Gomez is what I heard. It's literally that sentiment. Like, you invest so much in people and you love them. What happened with me is actually quite taxing. It's like 23:42. So when you start to hear a whole chunk of trash in the back end, well, it's already trash. I'm just sad, okay? Like fireworks and whatnot. It's only because I spoke past midnight. Yeah. In 2014, okay, let me just put this down for a season. In 2014, when I lost everything, I was out of my mind in shock and horror at how fluffy, plastic, void of any true sincerity, my entire conglomerate of souls that I had amassed for myself as friends, family members, colleagues, anyone that could have any kind of vested interest in my well-being, how they stood back and watched me burn and offered no support, no hand of assistance, made themselves spectators to my exquisite sorrow, and then expected me to fall apart as a result of their abandonment and their sheer hatred of my prosperity. I was supposed to die from this. I was supposed to not make it. I was supposed to settle for scraps, take just anything. I was supposed to end up seboto. I was supposed to end up depleted, diminished, finished, the sparkle in my eye gone. I was supposed to grovel for the rest of my days, if not die. And people were waiting for me to end up just some second grade citizen, merely going through life gathering dust, albeit being an academic. Watch me struggle to find work. Never mind an academic, but a skilled professional. Watch me struggle to find work until I walked into Macro and applied for a job there as a casual, as a store clerk, or at Woolies or at Wimpy as a waitress, despite having previously been a project/program manager. Skilled professional with years of experience on her CV, alongside having amassed for myself all that education from this university and some other institutions, many other little like certificates all over the show. They expected a woman with that level of experience and education to realize that it's over for me, there's nothing coming, and then go and wait tables at the Wimpy so that they could go to Wimpy, eat breakfast, and feel sorry for me and tip me $200 after they did that to me. People that were my friends, family members, colleagues, acquaintances that had slightly more care for me than just that chick. They all just stood back and made themselves spectators to my plunge, my plummet. I was supposed to be ruined. Essentially, just like Bina Ena, Selena Gomez. They set fire to my forest and they let it burn. The reason why they stood back was because they had participated in the mutiny against me using witchcraft. They were jealous, they envied me, and so that was a means of handling me. There is no way that you can cast a spell on a person, and then when stuff starts to happen according to what your spell tried, you then hop in and rescue the day. You don't cast a spell to drown a person, and when then they're struggling to swim, you go in to rescue them or throw in a life buoy. If these people had not sabotaged me like that, if friends and family members and colleagues that I was close with had not sabotaged me spiritually, and if they were not violently competing with me, as soon as what happened to me happened, seeing as I was obviously innocent, they would have put together their 2 cents, their heads, and try to see if they can't connect me with something else. That's what you do when someone you love has been wrongfully accused, when they've been unfairly dismissed, when they're struggling to get a job for a year, 2 years. If you don't have it in for them, if you truly love them and don't have it in for them, you see what you can do. You put together your heads, you pull in a favor, you ask for their CV. See if you can't push it in your company, even if nobody calls, you nonetheless try for them. No one tried for me. They all just stood back. And those that did try, I just explained to you my experience level. I was a program manager for a telecommunications company, the second largest one in the country. And I had been working for them for 5 years, right next to an academic. These people tried to make me an administrator, pushing paper in some companies, booking parking, ordering digestive biscuits, and arranging team buildings. They wanted to make me a secretary or a personal assistant all over again, when I had already done that time. Knowing my skills, knowing my expertise, and also knowing my intelligence, they thoroughly tried to downsize me. There was a time when I was prepared for that downsizing to take it. Lo and behold, I would walk into these companies where I am just some silly Girl Friday wannabe. And I was so good at what I did, in pushing all that administration paper, earning a stupid little stipend, that I was sabotaged by the people into whom I was reporting, making it impossible for me to work until I quit. It happened at Wits University. I've already explained that story to you, where my bosses would flat out ignore emails for my deliverables, such that I would look bad on paper, refuse to let me work, make me sit all day at my desk, doing nothing, twiddling my fingers because they were constructively dismissing me. They were trying to get me to leave by basically giving me no work, because what work I was doing was that excellent. One lady, when I was trying to gain deliverables from her, subordinate under her, of course, I was just an administrator pushing paper, even though I was supposed to be on the same professional level as her. She called me into her office for simply asking for basic stuff that I needed to collate for her boss, who was our boss, basically the executive of that department, needed reports, and I was to give them to him, collate them to give them to him. I was made somewhat of an executive PA. This chick, by simply me asking for this with sturdiness and firmness, because after all, I have to account to my boss, you have to account to the same boss as me, we all gotta account, by being firm, which I ought to be. After all, I come from a history of being a project manager / program manager. I can browbeat people into giving me what I want, because if we don't meet deliverables, literally everybody's buttocks are gonna get handed to them by our boss. So you don't beat around the bush, you don't dilly-dally. But when you're coming from the vantage point of running a program, or when you're coming from a vantage point of running a project, everybody respects you, because you've been delegated that authority, that power, to amass for yourself these deliverables. But when you are coming as an administrator, pushing essentially the same kind of administrative duties, just however from a lowly position, the people from whom you are asking these deliverables then treat you like, who do you think you are? You're not my boss. I was dealing with that kind of thing at Wits University until one lady called me into her office and shut the door behind me and yelled at me for a good 20 minutes. If I was not the mbokoto that I was, I would have cried right there on the spot, but instead, I waited to go to my car and cry there. She told me, she basically spoke to me like I was a child, and I have no business talking to her that way. I have no business doing what it is that I'm doing. I'm way in over my head. I don't know do I know who she is? Do I know how many degrees she has? This chick spoke to me like I was some child that out here spat on her toes as she was walking in downtown Johannesburg, and saw it fit to discipline me despite not being my mom, for doing something irresponsible. And yet I was fulfilling my duties under our boss each. Basically, her boss, who was also by implication, my boss too. And I had deliverables to give this man. And this chick out here locked me in her office for 20 minutes. She literally locked the door so I couldn't go. And spoke to me like I was a child. I took it, I left, I went in my car, cried for 5 minutes, came back, and carried on working. That was not the reason I left. I left because my two bosses, two senior managers reporting into an executive, stopped letting me work. They just stopped because I was a beast on the job. I was slaying them in their own deliverables to a point where their boss preferred to ask me for stuff that they were supposed to give him directly. It irritated them. They felt overstepped, and so they started to constructively dismiss me. They just ignored the living daylights out of me. It is now 23:52, just in case you're wondering if you're hearing firecrackers in the background. It's because it's almost the new year. Yeah. So when you're then sitting, twiddling your fingers at a desk, waiting for people to help you work, you're gonna walk out. After walking out, the person who connected me with the job, who was my mom, yelled at me for a week, took my Mac for 2 weeks, such that I couldn't record any videos anymore. I couldn't do anything of the work that I'm now doing. And I was so depressed I nearly committed suicide. Because I did not stay in a job that I would have inevitably at some point been constructively dismissed from, for just sitting, for just being a flower on the wall. These are the things that I have endured under people who claim to love me. I then had a cousin rock up years down the line, offer me a job, yet another administrative job that don't make no sense for my skill set, but I was willing to humble myself. She also wanted to make me book parking, schedule meetings, schedule boardrooms, buy digestive biscuits, buy lunch, do minutes of the meeting. Basically all the time I already served in that prison. No, Crancat, you are not going out, because as soon as New Year's Eve happens, you are going to moan and groan and complain as a pet with all those fireworks outside. No, I'll let you out in after 15 minutes, after half an hour of the fireworks going and going and going. My cat wants to go out. It's the worst time of year for pets. Anyway, whatever. I was willing to submit myself under. Yes, like it's starting from scratch again. Like, I'm smart, guys. I'm sorry. Like, you know, I had a dream. It was so horrible. And I'm going to tell you all these dreams I got where somebody was out there calling me arrogant. Like, what in the world am I? You know what? I don't owe anybody an excuse. You go and you grab a mathematics lecturer, a computational mathematics lecturer at university, and then there's the fireworks, and then put them in grade 8 mathematics and expect them. Crankat, no, I'm not letting you out. No, I let the cat out because it was gonna give me grief, but it's going to have a horrible time out there. All the best. Say la vie, sister girl. Yeah. Yes, grab that math lecturer who lost their certificate for being a lecturer, lost their matric certificate and lost their university certificate, and there are strangely no records to be found anywhere for them having graduated, never mind matric, but at a higher learning institution up to the master's level, to a point even of lecturing students. So because there's no record anywhere, of this lecturer having ever done any kind of mathematics, he can't now work as a lecturer anymore, teaching comp maths at a university. And then you put him in a grade 8 class to basically start again from high school, so he can, go grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, matric, and then first year, second year, third year, and then honors, and then masters, and then only he can go back to lecturing at varsity again. He has to now redo time because apparently, allegedly, all the documentation has been lost as to that evidence that he ever studied. So he can't reliably lecture anymore. Put him in that grade 8 class and tell me what the teacher in that class is going to do. Tell me what the other students in that class are going to do. Is this man not going to end up teaching that class himself and so irritating the teacher for taking over his position? Is this lecturer, seeing as he is not a high school teacher but a university teacher, not going to know more even than the high school math teacher, to the point of agitating the math teacher on stuff that she has not, that she doesn't know yet, that she hasn't studied? He's got more know-how, so he's going to irritate even his boss, even his superior, and then he's going to be met with a great deal of irritation by his peers, basically colleagues, basically fellow classmates that are in there out here learning A times A is A squared, while he's doing differential calculus, teaching it, never mind doing it. Yeah. So he is going to be harassed, abused by students, and he is going to be passive aggressively dealt with by his teacher. And this will always be true if he is in grade 8, grade 9, 10, 11 matric, first, second, third year, even at honors level. For as long as this man is not in the position that he comes from, he will forever be not underestimated, discovered as super skilled in the position that he is in, overqualified in that position that he is in. And if these people are not responsible with this man's skills, they will persecute him for it instead of rightly agree that you need to be leveled up. You need to move on to grade 9. The grade 9 teacher must then responsibly also say, no, you need to move on to grade 10. The grade 10 teacher might even make him write an exam for matric, and if he passes it well, be like, you need to go to varsity. In varsity, they need to then responsibly be like, you might as well just get your degree. I say if he needs to be bumped up. Responsible people. Once I hopped into these environments, what responsible people were supposed to do once I walked into these environments, they were supposed to be like, okay, look, you were registered in grade 8 as a whole calculus lecturer. We realize this is mistaken, it's flawed. It doesn't make sense. So let's give you an upgrade, a promotion. How about you rather tutor students in this high school instead of be a student? It's not quite. There's the fireworks. It's exactly midnight. Happy New Year. Happy whatever. We are there. But we're in the middle of a conversation, so we're not going to labor. You may or may not hear it based the background music. You might not hear, but maybe I'll keep quiet for 5 seconds so you can hear. Can you hear that? I hope you can hear it. Oh, like above my background music and everything. There's fireworks and everything running in the background. But this is the way that my New Year's are like, so there's no difference. Like nothing matters. I don't go happy. I don't go outside and look at the fireworks display. Maybe sometimes I do. Other years I do look, but this year I'm here, aren't I? It's 1 minute past midnight now. It's officially 2025. Look at that. I made it. I lived. Okay, I'm not going to keep quiet so you guys can hear the fireworks outside indefinitely. This man, the tutor, what would be responsible is to, at a minimum at least, make him a tutor instead of patronize him with being taught. Once he's a tutor, realize that, dude, you're too skilled. Get out of here. What are you doing? So everybody that I was thrown to, like the people at Wits University, should have been like, okay, you were thrown here to come and take a stupid job, but let's see what we can do for you. No, Karabo, not Njefela out of air, but because you've got actual experience, we could tell from your interview, it's here on your CV, coupled with the fact that you clearly are skilled, but instead they kept me lowly, kept me booking parking, insisted on putting my contact details in their signature like I'm their freaking PA, and then ghosted me on the job. Like, how you ghost your own subordinate? We are in a professional environment, but these men ghosted me. It was 2 of them, 2 senior managers. They ghosted me. Like, your boss literally refusing to talk to you. What are you, 12? Yeah. They ghosted me and treated me like I was not even on staff until I walked the heck out of there. Refused to respond to emails that I would send. Like elaborate emails with information sought and information given. Yo, when you are that skilled, you are either going to be dealing with a circumstance where a person is responsible enough to see that you're misplaced and so put you in the right position, or they will try to exploit you and then be annoyed by the fact that you are better than them. And with me, in all instances, people were always annoyed that I was better than them. No one ever treated me better. No one ever promoted me because I deserved to be promoted. The one at Wits, the job did not last because of what happened. But I had a cousin who offered me some assistant job. Done the time, but she was out trying to put me in prison again. I was prepared to work for her. At the interview, I interviewed some other people interviewed me. Not her. And even the people that interviewed me, you've listened to their story if you've been following me with any level of consistency. The people who interviewed me were like, this woman is too skilled and too qualified. What the heck? What are we going to be doing with her? Perhaps maybe you should consider putting her somewhere else. Indeed, just like I said, if at all you're in grade 8 as a calculus lecturer from varsity, there's the fireworks again. A responsible teacher will say, principal, the student I didn't realize has got like university level knowledge. They have no business being in my class. Or the teacher can passive aggressively treat you. This woman's staff was like a responsible teacher who were like, we interviewed her, she's too skilled. But you see, the woman, the cousin who offered me the job, she would have nothing to do with it because she was yet among those people who stood back and observed a woman burning. They set fire to my forest and then let it burn. Then years down the line tried to offer me some entry-level stupid job. And her staff were like, she's too senior. Instead of placing me in the position that was recommended by her staff, she ghosted me. She disappeared. Got no feedback. After interview, just quiet, flat line. How embarrassing is that? Given that she is my cousin. She's not some employment agency that owes me jack. Or some company that really, if they don't call me, I'll never see them again. She is a family member. And she ghosted me because her staff members recommended a promotion for me. Not only that, she tried to get me to stop YouTube. That's what happens. That's what happens when a person is skilled and misplaced. Either they are responsibly dealt with by someone who will realize they need to be put in the right place, or they are irresponsibly dealt with by someone who will try to exploit the circumstance but then find themselves literally way in over their head until they're passive aggressive. And I've only ever been dealing with passive aggression and in the small spots, slivers of light, people who wanted to appropriately respond, but who then were met with barriers to my entry by other people who made themselves chock-a-blocks to that progression. You can hear fireworks. It's the new year. Binaya Selena Gomez came at the opportune moment because God is saying through it, they promised me the world and I fell for it. They were my friends, they were my family, ex-boyfriend. They were people that basically promised to love me. And then they let me burn. And then listen to this. Certain parts of Selena Gomez's lyrics. She says that within 2 months you replaced us. This cousin went and found somebody else to fill that administrative role, and somebody else to also fill the position that was rather recommended I should rather fill. At Wits, they went and they found somebody else. They replaced me after I walked out with somebody that's going to be a little more docile and again fit for purpose for that lowly job. And then my relatives all over the show, family members scattered, they are the most culpable and they're the ones that I've been dreaming about the most. Former friends, When days are dark, friends are few, but blood is thicker than water, right? Yeah. So since my friends didn't help me, whatever. You just displayed that you were fair weather, but with fam, you were supposed to be bigger than that. Family was supposed to be bigger than that. Hence why now Luke 14 is my mantle. Hate mother, brother, father, sister, proper. I don't care no more. Don't care. I bet you heard that one. That firework, right? Yeah. These family members of mine that have watched me roam these streets of South Africa with no job for a decade. Mamelangne, listen keenly, even though you can hear fireworks on the outside. Listen keenly with every bone in your body. Set up people with jobs that were not family members, while I sat back and listened to them place these people in their companies. I have a cousin whose lover boy got given a job by my mom. Her lover boy was at that stage a lover boy. I believe they have since then gotten married. I don't know. But he was at the time just a boyfriend. And that boyfriend got given a job while I was unemployed by my mother. He was connected with a gig in my mom's company, and I believe still to this day, since Nasebelet's at that company. There then were random people's children's cousins that were given jobs by my family members. Out here peddling CVs. I watched my little sister matriculate and get given a job in my mom's company while I sat. Perfectly skilled. And every time any one of my family members would try to peddle my CV, they deliberately tried to get me working an entry-level job. They did not just say, look at Karabo's CV and see if you can't find her a project management job at a minimum. Because she's got the skills. Like, stuff like that just does not expire. It does not go dry. It is not like the legal profession where the law is ever-changing, fluid, legislation out here getting, they enact the law, they bring one down, they repeal one. And so if you are not on the ball with what's going on in the law, you can't just, after 20 years of not practicing law, just go right back to work. You got to get yourself, acclimatized to what in the world has been going on in the streets, or even journalism, where it is that current affairs, you have to know what in the world is going on. So if you have not been in the market, if you haven't been in the game for like 5 years, they might just call you rusty, because have you been keeping up with the times? Are you on the ball like you used to be? Because the news are ever changing. Nothing is the same today. Yesterday's news is literally just that. 10 years ago's worth of news. So if you're not here in certain industries, maybe we can understand why it might be hard to out here be hiring a reporter that hasn't been in the game for 5 years, that was in a coma for 2 years. You can see how it might be rough, because you have to now teach yourself what's happened, what has gone on in the Middle East, how have things unraveled, how have things phased out, who is the president of this country anymore. That's journalism, which is an industry that I appear to be now hopping into, because people out here kicked me out and I'm out here doing my own freelance thing. But there are certain industries where it is that relax more life thing. Like, take a breather. If you come back, it's the same. Yafana. Nothing really changes. And project management is one of them. It is applicable literally anywhere and everywhere that you can go. The only thing that potentially might change are processes. The only thing that might change are systems, how advanced they are, versions. Basically just an ever-changing ICT and telecommunications space. But that's nothing that a little induction cannot fix. Just in the same way that if you are a project manager for a bank, when you start being a project manager for a telecommunications company, you have to be taught the ropes, ins and outs, and learn at induction how telco works. But they hire you because you've got project management skills. MTN was like that. They would be out here hiring people from like FMCGs. They'd be out here hiring people from banking. As a telecommunications company, IT companies, I can see they were closely related, but there were other industries that these people came from that it was so far removed from what they used to do that you would be like, whoa, okay, I guess we're gonna have to teach you ones and twos from scratch. But the ones and twos we're teaching here are not hard stuff. Basically, connective tissue and bones and muscle, it was just skin. Just that which is the surface knowledge information that will enable you to apply your existing knowledge onto this industry. Project management is fluid and ever-changing, and you can literally make like grease man and slip into any industry insofar as you've got basic experience under it. Yeah, and these people are to treated my project management like I was a journalist that was in a coma for 3 years. They treated my project management experience like I was, what is the other industry that I spoke about, like a lawyer that was rusted, that was not with the times, that did not realize that they had repealed this under this particular, like, you know, civil law. So Karabo, you're gonna have to get yourself out. Yo, guys. Yazzie, I literally, for the life of me, I cannot. Like, I cannot. Okay. I can't. These people acted towards me like I was rusted and unsalvageable. I am intelligent, coupled with skilled, fluid, ever learning, curious, highly functioning. I'm a high functioning individual. I learn quickly. I am a sponge for knowledge. I am hard to ignore when I open my mouth, and so hard to turn back when I interview. So people have done everything in their power to block me from so much as going for interviews. They have blacklisted me from just being seen at all. They set fire to my forest and they let it burn. People that I loved bewitched my life and then saw it fit to act like I'm irresponsible. My ministry is my alibi that I've never rusted, that I've never lost my touch, and also that I've never lost my mind. My ministry is evidence also that I'm innocent. I do what I do, and in spite of all of this glaring evidence, they still treat me the way they do because I am being beleaguered on all sides by filthy miscreants that have seen it fit to make sure that nobody else looks at me. But you see, even that nobody else looking at me issue, I am that scary. I am that good. I am so powerful and so skilled that those who set fire to my forest and then let it burn are making sure that nobody looks at me lest somebody should look at me. They're making sure nobody looks at me lest somebody should look at me, lest somebody should call me up, write me an email, ask for my CV, see where they can place me, see what they can do for me. They are ascertaining I can't move. I am so stationary. It is bizarre. It's whack and it's weird. I am so stationary that it just proves that these people have been irresponsible with my life, and they've been basically on a homicidal journey, on a mission to kill a woman. They are on a mission to murder. They're on a mission to kill a woman. They want me buried. They want me to settle. They want me to quickly take whatever it is that they're offering me, lest somebody responsible should be like, whoa, what are you doing to this person? You're wasting their life. Irresponsible miscreants from 14 years ago, and those who can happen upon me now, have put me in a position to be exploited by worthless men because I'm pretty, exploited by worthless women because I'm skilled, gifted, intelligent, and an all-around a great girl. They have made me basically the sitting duck for filthy exploiters, for people into random subterfuge, out here stealthily and perniciously worming their way into the life of a person that is like 10 for the price of 1. So I am not so fooled as to imagine that I'm not worthy of being gazed upon. If anything, quite the contrary. Me not being looked at is confirmation that lang tsaba man. You are scared of what I am. Ke le kgadima that you can't take in your stride. So seeing as I am such a force to be reckoned with, why would I settle? Why would I take just anything? Why would I be freaked out by the fact that people are out here twanzaring firecrackers while I sit at home on